What you're looking at is not a piece of a skyscraper, and it's definitely not a giant sculpture. This is a ship anchor. And believe it or not, some of these massive anchors weigh more than 30 tons. That's heavier than 5 fully loaded African elephants combined. These steel giants are the only things standing between a multi-billion-dollar cargo ship and the open ocean. But here's the crazy part. How do factories transform raw steel into these monster anchors that can survive years under seawater, violent storms, and unbelievable pressure? Today, we're taking you inside a giant factory to uncover the incredible process. Everything begins with steel, lots of steel. Factories collect tons of recycled steel scrap, iron, and other metal alloys. Using recycled metal not only cuts costs, but also helps reduce industrial waste. The metal is then loaded into a gigantic electric furnace. Inside, temperatures rise to nearly 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt steel into a glowing liquid river. Watching molten steel flow is both terrifying and satisfying. Workers carefully monitor the chemical composition because even a tiny mistake could weaken the entire anchor. Special alloys are often added to increase strength, toughness, and resistance to corrosion. Because once this anchor reaches the ocean floor, failure is simply not an option. With the steel fully melted, it's time for one of the most impressive stages, casting. Factories first prepare massive molds made from specially designed sand mixtures. These molds are enormous, often several meters long. Next comes the breathtaking moment. Thousands of pounds of liquid steel are carefully poured into the mold. One wrong move could be disastrous. The molten metal slowly fills every section, taking the exact shape of the future anchor. Then comes the waiting game. Depending on the size, cooling can take many hours or even several days. Once cooled, workers break apart the mold to reveal the rough anchor casting hidden inside. But at this stage, it still looks far from finished. Huge excess sections, called risers and gates, must be cut away. Massive grinders and industrial cutting tools remove unwanted metal while shaping the anchor into its final form. For some designs, giant hydraulic presses and machining equipment are also used to ensure precise dimensions. Every curve and angle matters because an anchor's holding power heavily depends on its exact shape. Before an anchor can touch seawater, it must survive a series of brutal tests. First, the surface is cleaned, ground, and polished to remove imperfections. Then, inspectors search for hidden cracks using advanced non-destructive testing methods. Some factories even use ultrasonic scanning to see inside the solid steel without cutting it open. But the real wow moment comes during load testing. The anchor is placed inside enormous hydraulic testing machines that apply unbelievable force. In some cases, these machines pull with hundreds of tons of pressure. If the anchor bends, cracks, or fails, it goes straight back for recycling. No compromises. Because lives, cargo, and entire ships depend on this single piece of steel. Once approved, final components such as shackles, pins, and heavy-duty chains are assembled. The anchor then receives protective coatings designed to fight rust and harsh ocean conditions. Finally, these steel giants are transported to shipyards around the world. And here's a shocking fact. Some of the world's largest ships carry anchors weighing over 30 tons each. Yet, thanks to clever engineering and anchor design, these giants can securely hold vessels weighing more than 200,000 tons. That's like stopping an entire floating city with a single piece of steel. Pretty incredible. If you enjoyed seeing how these giant ship anchors are made, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more incredible factory documentaries, and tell us in the comments, what's the most amazing factory process you've ever seen? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.